Okay. Gonna have anger problems because of my neighbors right now, but we're gonna try to work through it. Do you hear that leaf blower? I think this has been going since 7 this morning. It's 10:58 currently. Driving me crazy. Yo. All right, I have a really cool idea of what I want to make today. We're essentially going to make a fairness pitcher with a removable infusion basket. So it can either be a teapot or with a lid, and it can either be a fairness pitcher or a hohen, essentially. You can choose which one you want depending on the situation. So that's the idea for today. And I'm going to do this really kind of funky shape that I made yesterday as a teapot, and then we'll kind of go from there. And I'm going to angle you guys on Instagram down a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. Cool. How's your day going? And I'm trying to stream at 2 different places at the same time, see how my brain can handle it. I don't know if it'll work. I'm currently stealing a student's clay. She is out of town for the next 3 weeks, and I'm full out of my own clay. And I'm going to go up on Tuesday and pick up a bunch of stoneware and porcelain. So I'll be able to replace it before she even knows it's gone. Though I'm noticing right now is her porcelain here does not have malachite in it, and the porcelains that I've been using recently have been having malachite, and I can tell the difference. This is a shape though that I've been experimenting with more and more, and it's the typical gourd shape, sure. Um, Actually, we could do 3 on this one. Do I want to do that, or do I just want to undulate the top? No, I don't want to undulate the top because or we could undulate the top, but we'd have to have the undulations then mesh with the piece itself. So essentially the spout will come off here. It'll be like that removable teapot aspect. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to undulate the top of this thing. And then throw it a little bit more. And then maybe even add in a secondary little squiggle. You know what I mean? I don't know how I'm liking this or not. I think I'm not liking this. Why'd you guys let me do this? No. It's fine. We'll figure it out. So what I want to do is push this out a little bit more if I can without ruining it. And I want this part to kind of come out like that. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear it, Tess. What are you gonna make? What's your plans? What's your ambitions? Tell me everything. Okay, so that's the base idea for this. I have a spout coming off the side. Um, we're just gonna make one of these because I don't really know what I'm doing yet. So this is kind of an experimental aspect. But essentially, so this is a fairness picture I made previously. And so this is kind of the form we're going for, except this one's more dramatic because it has these 2 very accentuated lines. Though now that I'm looking at this, I kind of love this. Maybe we'll make 2 because I actually don't like this. It's too Christmas tree. And we do have to torch today because that'll speed up the process for us. Awesome. I love that idea. I hope it goes well. Sounds good, kid, and enjoy the studio. That sounds lovely. What are you gonna make? Also, for you guys over on Instagram, if you ever want to see a recap of anything that we're doing here, the videos are also on YouTube. I'm streaming there as well, and it gets posted over there. And so the lives are captured. So the cool part about these forms is that we don't have to make a gallery because the gallery will be made into the tea baskets itself. So that's kind of cool. Pulled handles are overrated. You should keep up with the coils. I stopped using pulled handles many years ago. I mean, go for it. I'm not telling you to do whatever. It's a good skill to learn, but okay. Let's do one more of these. The problem is that I didn't actually expect to do two of these, so let me just grab her bag of clay real quick so I can steal it. So again, like I said, I'm stealing my student's clay. She's gone for a couple weeks. I'm going to be getting new clay on Tuesday so I can replace it without her knowing, unless she ends up watching with one of these videos, and then I'm screwed, but that's okay. So there's our first one. I don't like this one at all, so we're going to redo it. Essentially, I like this one so much more as far as style goes, but this is a bunch of silica sand and a bunch of other stuff. I don't think we're going to get quite that same look, but I kind of like my more undulating, my normal, typical undulating form than anything else. So let me just quickly weigh out another 350 grams because that's what we're working with. Thank you. Yeah, that one is cool. Someone did reserve that one, and for various reasons, it's still with me, so I may keep it for myself. No, we're gonna make, essentially, we're making a fairness pitcher that is also a teapot for Gung Fu Cha. So we're essentially making a teapot right now, but we're doing two things at once. And so this is something I kind of stumbled upon yesterday when I was drinking tea. Mm. No, I just do the 50-50 myself, but everybody tells me I should do the like sawdust method for anagamas, but I just use 50-50 and it's been great for me. But I don't use EPK anymore. I use George's Pioneer Kaolin. It crumbles a little bit more, but it's much easier to clean up afterwards. So I recommend that one instead. It's also cheaper. Yeah, a teapot in general, teapots, they can be tricky, that's for sure. I have not. Tell me more, Alex. I use Georgie's Pioneer Kaolin. It's just it was a cheaper substitute when there was the EPK shortage. It is still a type of kaolin instead of EPK. That's all I was saying. Brian, what's good? How are you? All right. We're going to thin this out a little bit more. Go from there. You know, the more I do this, the less I care about things being centered. It's kind of crazy. It's just like 10 years in, and now I'm like, I just don't care. Because, especially with what I'm about to do to it, it depends on what we're doing, but Wait, hold on. I need to scroll down. There's too many things happening at once over there. There's a lot of different factors tests. We can talk about it if you like. I mean, we'll talk about it while we're making this teapot base. We're gonna have to factor in all those factors as well. Oh, what did you get? That's awesome. How was Paris? Yeah, right, Brian? It's been a while. All right, I'm not gonna clean up the throwing lines. I think what I am gonna do though, because I like the undulation on the other one, where I think we're gonna undulate the top of this one and then go from there. Yes, this is a closer version than on YouTube currently, but the YouTube version that's going live right now is going to get posted, whereas this one will not. So if you ever want to rewatch, it'll be over on YouTube. Okay. And since we're not adding a gallery or anything like that, we can get this nice and thin. Ugh, this porcelain, ugh, horrid. Whatever, it's fine. I'll deal with the top later. So we're going to do our standard undulation on this guy now. Awesome. Will you send a photo? I'd love to see what you got. Okay, this is going to be our normal, how we do all of our you know me undulation. And like I said, these are going to be teapots, but they're going to be teapot pitcher hybrids. So you can use them as either or. And they may look too wide and things like that, but remember this clay shrinks 14.5%. So when these are done, I know they look large compared to my hand and everything, but they will be a decent size. So essentially, I can almost guarantee that this one that's finished was the exact same size as this when it started. These were the same size. And you can see it's significantly smaller now after it's finished. So they'll be too big, but it'll be just right later on. All right, so here's the part that I don't remember how to do. I was making these infuser baskets a couple of years ago. I don't know if anybody here is going to ever remember me doing this, but I only made 4 total ever, and I kept 2 of them myself. So I doubt that you guys remember them or have seen them. Okay, so next thing we're going to try to do is the infusion basket, and this is the part that's going to get tricky because I don't know what I'm doing. And my favorite thing to do is do a live video when I don't know what I'm doing. But the concept is I want a square basket that fits almost fully in here so it can't jiggle around. The top that can kind of overlap and overlay so you can kind of pick it on and pick it off. And then this part will also have its own inset part for a lid. I did it. I've done it. I don't know how I did it. So we're gonna kind of figure this out as we go. I actually don't know what I'm doing though. So right. I feel like most people when they're doing like lives and stuff, they're like going in, they're ready to go, and they know exactly what's up. I'm always just like, I have no idea. It's probably not going to work. let's just experiment. And I like the failures to be out there. This has to be torched a little bit more. Okay, so I measured out that ball. So that's 275 for the interior. I think that sounds like a decent amount for what we're doing. We'll measure out two of these for 275. But this will give us a better concept of what needs to be done. And I don't wedge my clay, so it'll just be smacked together like that. Hey, what's up? How are you? What's new? What's going on? Okay, so the idea is it's a cylinder that's as wide as that, and then it's going to flare out with undulation. And the thing that I don't know is how did I put in, good, glad to hear. I don't know how I made a gallery on this last time. Like, genuinely no idea. So we're just going to throw this and see what happens and go from there, I guess. I should have brought down the one that I did make. Because it almost feels like I added something to the top. Am I doing okay? Oh, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm confused as to what we're doing, but I'm looking forward to doing it. So we're essentially, like I said, making a hohen, but oh, this one is wide. Wow, all right. Uh, yeah. How's the weather where you're at? Hopefully nice. Okay, let me think about this now. This is definitely going to be too tall. Thank you, Bear. I appreciate it. I'm trying to have fun. We'll see how it goes. That's how many grams this piece of clay is. So height-wise, I didn't measure that. So we're gonna look for a ruler. Haha. So we're gonna measure the depth, which is two and a half-ish inches deep, which means this needs to be 2.5 inches-ish. And we're at 3, which is great because what we need to do now is fold down the lip, but we're also not wide enough. Hold on. Dima, what's up? How are you? Okay, I'm so excited to have new clay. I decided to buy some stoneware this time, which I haven't done in a while. So we'll see how it goes. I kind of wanted to do a little bit more stoneware stuff for other kilns, not for my kiln. My kiln really requires porcelain to do its best. But for other kilns, it doesn't really matter. So why not switch it up? Stoneware, it is a bunch of different clays mixed together. Porcelain is mainly just a kaolin. So stoneware would have like ball clay and a feldspar and all that fun stuff in it. Whereas porcelain is just mainly some sort of kaolin. I know, it's a great one, Dima. No complaints here. It's a beautiful day. Okay, so this is the right measurement. It's the right height. Now I need to take a measurement that's going to overlap the top here. So now the top of this needs to fold over to like that. Luna, what's good? And then I just want to remeasure height. We're at 3, so I have some space to wiggle. So what I'm going to just do here is I'm going to push this down, and then I'm going to just bring this out. And I'm going to re-look at this. Not even close. Awesome. Now what I'm going to do, and I should have done this before I did that, is I should have undulated it. What? Luna, why? Are you sick? How was work yesterday? Okay. Ah! I didn't cut all the way through. No one saw that. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Honestly, this is just kind of like an idea. I'm not even sure if this is going to work. I just wanted to try something new with you guys. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hope you feel better. That sounds awful. Okay. So where are we at? Height-wise, we're almost there. So I don't want to thin out too much in the center because we're going to be putting a lid in this part. So I have to put in a gallery into this in a second. Where are we at? It's a little small, but let me just double check that I got the right dimensions. You know what? That's actually pretty good dimensionally. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is try to, I guess throwing in a gallery would be the smartest thing to do. We're going to do that. I was going to just push it in, but throwing in a gallery makes more sense. And then I can trim all this flat so it actually sits properly. There, Dima. Say hey to Karma for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll see what happens, though. I usually like protecting myself, so it'll work out one way or the other. Okay, so let's throw in a gallery. So I feel like I should have made a better base shape of this. I'm planning on making quite a few of these. Um, as you guys probably know, I am just really tired of normal teapots. And I'm realizing that, I'm trying my best at making as functional teapots as I can that pour really well. But what I'm more interested is the fun design aspect that you can get that I'm not seeing elsewhere. And so I'm more interested in like a collaboration of like creativity with the clay and everything versus purely the best pouring vessel possible. And so I want to make funky teapots that people might not want to buy because they're not used to aesthetically, but they can be kind of a piece of art or a functional teapot that's not just like a round teapot. So anyway, I'm going to go off the rails a little bit on the teapots again. I know we had that whole year of like teapot exploration, and I don't think it was enough. I think I actually was making more exciting things a couple of years ago, and I want to kind of revisit some of my older forms, like my easy guy wands and things like that. You can torch stoneware much more than you can torch porcelain. Porcelain starts exploding in your face. Stoneware can take it. This stuff just starts disintegrating and exploding and popping, and you'll get a shard of hot porcelain stuck in your eye, which has happened to me many times. Luckily, I wear contacts and glasses a lot of the time when I'm in here, so I don't really have to worry about that. And obviously, I will show everybody what I'm doing. YouTube can kind of see a better angle at what I'm actually doing right now, but I will show everybody in a second. Yeah, it's not the most fun. It happens to me pretty often, honestly. I try to be careful, but I'm also impatient. So, man, that guard dog keeping me safe. If something breaks, I'll show you guys kind of. Oh, hold on. I want to see what Olive's barking at. Hey, dog. Can you chill out? I appreciate you. Olive, I appreciate you. Can you chill, though? Come back here. Come on. Ah, what a good guard dog. But she requires a cookie on her arrival, so give me a half a second to give this sweet little pup a cookie. All right, little bee, there's cookies up there for you. Up to bed, please. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, you have to do a very like minor amount. It's much more subtle than it is with stoneware. Thanks, J. I don't know why every time I read a J, my brain says G. Appreciate that. Yeah, porcelain is just it's not like a crazy deal harder to work than stoneware, but it definitely has its like moments of more difficult situations. So. And I'm pretty far away. The flame hits, but it's still pretty far away. Ginger, I've been doing this for 10 years now. I taught myself in 2015. So it's been a minute. Also, should I bring back these t-shirts? I kind of want to make some more of them. Okay, there's our first basket. Cool. Yeah, they were kind of a bust. This is one of the bust ones. It kind of just has a shadow of a teapot and everywhere on here, but that's awesome. I decided to become left-handed a couple years ago. I don't throw pottery left-handed because I already spent enough time in here and I don't want to spend any more. But everything else in my life I do left-handed now, as of 2 years. Yeah, 2 years now, which has been nice. Okay, so there's our gallery. That looks totally like I just pushed it in. And we'll deal with that in a second. Hopefully that actually is the right angle. So the next thing we need to do is dimensionally take one of this guy. And I'm already seeing an issue with this one, but we're going to deal with it anyway. And I definitely don't need as much. Thank you. We don't need as much clay, but I already have it wedged out, so we're going to just do it anyway. Oh, and dimensionally, these are actually very similar, honestly, to making a double-walled pot. The only difference is I'm not connecting the pieces, but we're essentially going to be making all the same parts to it, which is kind of fun. Wait, how much clay do I have left? Okay, so all I have left is this and this. And this should be enough clay for spouts and lids. So I'm not going to worry about it. We're making, oh, you're going to like this. We're making two fairness pitchers with built-in or removable tea strainers that have lids in them. And so they can either be a teapot or they could be a fairness pitcher. It's an idea I randomly stumbled upon actually quite a while ago, and I kept forgetting about it. But I was making tea last night, and I stumbled upon it again, where I had these really cool tea strainers, and I just put it into one of my pitchers, and it fit perfectly. And I was like, oh my God, wait a minute, new teapot design. So, pretty psyched. I've only made, I think I was saying I've only made about 4 steepers infusion baskets before, and I kept 2 of them myself. And so I kind of like the idea of making some more. Right? Same here. Can't go wrong with a new teapot. What have you been working on? Anything fun? Anything exciting? Wow, this boy's thick. Where are we at? Spatially. Good, 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 good. What is a coal pot, Ginger? I don't even know what that is. Okay, that's way too tall, but that's fine. We're going to undulate the top of this one too, because that's more fun to me. Though I'm probably going to regret doing this, but that's okay. You'll see why in a bit, why I'm going to regret this. We're making combination fairness pitcher teapots. Oh yeah? No way. That's awesome. Well, hopefully this will be helpful. I don't know what I'm doing. You ever tried the technique? Mm, you're building the coil pot on the wheel just so you can rotate more easily with your foot. Is that the idea, Andrew? I have not because I don't usually use I don't make coil pots. I'm not a huge fan of coil building, honestly. Hmm. Can you tell me a little bit more about it dimensionally and aesthetically and all that kind of stuff, and then I can give you an idea of what I would charge if I was going to make it. I'm not keen on taking commissions though, just as a heads up. It's not my favorite thing. Well, that's not good. That's already out to where we need it to be. No. And we're probably too tall on this one. Well, this one can overlap. Why not? Who cares? These are literally just tests, essentially test tiles. Yeah, these are just test tiles. Let's just not worry about it. Test teapots. Yeah, I have used the technique before on a non-electric wheel. I have a couple heads of old wheels that I've attached to boards, and so when I do hand build stuff that's big, that I put them on just essentially big banding wheels, but I don't put them on my wheel ever. My wheels are very high up. I'm standing, and so like I have a wheel on the ground, but I don't ever use it. It's storage right now. Oh wait, what am I doing? I need to add a gallery. Gotcha. Yeah, it's a style that I'm not personally super keen on developing. I can't really fire massive stuff anyway, so it seems a little redundant for me to, or kind of pointless for me to do. But I do like the concept, and I've seen some really beautiful pots done that way. So these are going to be infusion baskets. Is that what you're asking? Or are you talking about a different kind of filter? I am hoping that I will plan a workshop at some point, but the problem is that my space is small. It's really limited to maybe like a getaway, like a weekend getaway, if anybody's interested. We can kind of talk about pricing and stuff like that, where it's more of a one-on-one lesson. I have a place for you to stay. You have to deal with your own food, but we could have a couple hours over the weekend to do some lessons. That's kind of something that I've been teetering with the idea. So if that's of interest, probably just, you know, be a couple $100 for the weekend or whatever. Probably closer to like 750 or something. But it's an idea that I've been coming up with. Andrew, can you define crazy for me? I think, yeah, it did, where you can just kind of build tall. Yeah, I think it's a very cool method. It's not for me, but I think it's a very cool method. I've seen some beautiful pots. Uh, the craziest thing I've ever done is try to be a full-time potter. There's no money in this. Don't do this. That's the craziest thing. You know how hard it is to like make stuff and market stuff and like be creative, but then also like be limited by, financial restraints of just being able to survive as a potter. That's the hardest part. That's the craziest part. I don't know if I would call anything like, I can't think of anything crazy that I've made that I'm like, if you know, like kind of goofy, my tea dealer ordered two spouted three handled tea, I think last year, or the year before. Um, I think some of my gaiwan that I used to make and my shiboridashi that had a bunch of holes that I used to make about maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago at this point. I think those are pretty crazy. I want to bring that style back. I'm thinking it'll be pretty soon. Probably the next firing, I actually want to be making some of those for that. Later, Andrew. Have a good one. Yeah, so the next firing is in June. I will not be putting many things in because I'm part of the New England Wood Firing Council. So 4 people have signed up to fire with me. And so it's mostly about a learning experience for them. I'm kind of just I was trying to be in a place where I would just say yes to things a lot more. And that was one of the things I said yes to. It's going to be fun. I already have the wood cut. I'm just going to make a bunch of work in case they don't have enough stuff to fill the kiln. I'm giving myself 3 shelves, and then they're all getting 2 shelves each. Otherwise, it just doesn't financially make sense to me. Otherwise, I'd literally just be breaking even and, spending a ton of time and resources to fire it for no reason. I'll totally show you, Ruth. Essentially, instead of pushing in a gallery, I do it with a coil. It makes life a lot easier. So you can pretty much put in any dimension gallery that you want to any thickness object that you want and create your own gallery. It's something I came up with when I was doing more double-walled pieces. And now I do it interchangeably between teapots that I kind of want thinner parts that I can't have a thicker edge to and push in, like this piece. So what we're going to do next is trim the 2 pieces that we just made, mostly because I want them to start setting up a little bit in their dry stage. And then we'll make the spouts. I guess we'll trim the actual vessels too, since we're trimming those already. This isn't normally the order I would do it in, but just for the sake of hole punching and all that, we're going to do that. If I miss anybody's comments on Instagram, I'm sorry. It shows me everybody who's joining, and it takes away the comments to show me who's joining in. And it's hard to scroll with wet hands, so. All right, why don't we actually just trim the vessel parts first, because they will be the driest. Ugh. Nice little tap. Oh, I didn't show you, did I? So this is the gallery that we threw in. Now, why would I do that, Cringe? I would if it wasn't good. Happy to do it if you donate $20 right now over on YouTube. Welcome back, Lynn. How are you? Oh, this is not dry enough for me to trim. Who let me not dry this enough? Man, oh man. That's probably fine. We'll see. If it breaks, it breaks. Good. I'm glad I could help. Okay. So, what's up, babe? I was looking up, I need some new shelves and everything for my kiln. And I was looking into buying advancer shelves, which are crazy expensive. They are $250 before tax per shelf. And I needed, if I want to redo all the shelves in my kiln, I need 1, 10, 13 shelves. It's a lot of money, but I found that they actually, at least from the specifications, that they aren't as good as I was hoping for wood kilns where you're getting direct flame. So I'm going to go back to half-inch silicon carbide, trusted, true, whatever. What's up, Edison? And 87 bucks a shelf instead seems a lot more reasonable. So I'm going to pick up like 5 at a time and just go a couple times. Or I might just buy them all at once. Maybe just rip the band-aid off and just spend the money and be done with it. All right, this is the one where the top might break, but let's not think about it too much. Oh, we're good. Easy peasy. All right. Next up is this guy. So let's take a dimension again here. Make sure that I do the right thing. I want as tight as can be on the interior thing for this idea. Okay. That's what we're looking at. Oh, I'm spot on. Okay. So I just got to make sure that this is the same dimension all the way through, and I think it is a little bit bigger. Yeah, it looks like it bows out right here, so we're just going to bring that in just a hair and go from there. Maybe to make this look a little bit nicer too, just while we're at it. Okay. Thanks. So what we're doing right now is this is a new teapot design I kind of stumbled upon a couple of months ago and then um, kind of forgot about and then re-stumbled upon it last night. And so I wanted to just, as soon as I got into the studio, do it just so I could have a proof of concept that it would work. And so we're just making two as kind of a maquette-esque thing. And so this is going to be a tea basket infuser that's going to slide into a fairness pitcher. And so you can either use the fairness pitcher as a hoe hen, which is a style of teapot, or you could use it as a fairness pitcher. So it just depends on the context that you're drinking. If you're drinking with multiple people and you need a bigger teapot, this would work, or whatever the case is, or you have a teapot but you don't have a fairness pitcher, or whatever the situation is. So this will have a billion holes put into it, and we can either do a flower pattern or we can do holes everywhere. And I mean, honestly, holes everywhere makes more sense for what this is. But I am lazy, so we might do one flower pattern and one holes everywhere. This one is going to be the one harder to do holes constantly down it, so we're probably going to do the holes constantly down on this one, and the easier one we'll do flowers. And then we'll decide which one we like more after the fact. How much time do we have? It's 12 o'clock. And I can't decide if I want to bike to work today. I'm kind of leaning on no. I biked yesterday, so it's pretty key. It was Teacher Appreciation Day yesterday. And so there's a bunch of flowers that you could just take, like plants. And I took a really beautiful little columbine that I yesterday and planted in my little garden, one of my little gardens, one of my many gardens. I love plants so much. Okay, right now this is done. The next thing I'm going to do is put a line right here. And that line is going to be my guide. Oh, I need a line here too. Those are my two guidelines for the holes. It's a hefty basket. Is this bottom too thick? I mean, it's a thick base, but I think we're fine. Again, proof of concept, not. It's so late, Lynn. It's a proof of concept, so if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll make it better regardless. We're gonna learn what needs to happen from doing these two. Most likely, I will keep one of these for myself as well, just as a functional piece, just so I can see what is right or wrong about it. So usually I like to apply downward pressure when I'm trimming, but I don't want to dip at the bottom. So I'm having a little bit of difficulty here. Oh, I need to take a new measurement too. So this is now the interior for this one. And so the max dimension is here. Okay. And we're spot on. Cool. And while we're at it, let's just for again the proof of concept, let's just see if it works. I don't even know if this one, I should have tested this first, if this slid in here. Let's see how that fits. And it doesn't. So I should have tested this before taking it off. Oh wait, it does fit, but it's too tall. I thought I measured this right. It's way too tall. Okay, I don't know what we're gonna do about that. So this one might not work, which means this one's probably gonna be too tall too. So let's just, from the get-go, take this thing way down. Yo. Wow, wow, wow. Even later. At night? That's crazy. Okay. Just out of curiosity, let's see how close this one was. Not even close either, but that's not because of that. What we're gonna do here is just bring this one down a little bit. If it's close, I'll just put in a fake bottom. Again, this is a maquette, brand new idea. I don't know what I'm doing yet. This might fly off, just as a heads up. So the thing that I've learned already is this transaction, or kind of transition between here and here, is the issue spot. So let's see what that feels like now. Okay, that's perfect. So that's exactly what I wanted. Look at that. So essentially, we'll make this into a teapot or a fairness pitcher, depending on how you want it. And I like how this rides up. I like that it's facing against the undulation. So let's put a fake bottom into this piece. Be kind of nice if I could take off a little bit more weight. It's a little hefty, honestly. I did not throw these very well, it seems. But that's okay. It's all about figuring things out. This was a design day, not a whatever day. I'm going to trim from the inside a little bit, just to loosen up a little bit of weight, because no one's going to want to use this thing at this current weight. Again, I'm probably just going to keep it for myself, so it doesn't really matter, but in case someone's crazy about it and they want it, I want it to be somewhat sellable. In its current form, it is not. Yeah, agreed. And there's a lot to it, and it's just kind of especially in these like kind of design stages of brand new forms, just coming up with why things work and why things don't work is fun. And I love doing them live, so you guys can see the creative struggle there, where I'm just always kind of just playing around and never sure what I'm doing. Yes, you're totally right, Ruth. It'll lessen quite a bit, but it's a little thick even to put the holes into. It's going to look silly, so I'm just going to reduce the weight a little bit. It'll almost be light. It'll be very light later on, but yeah, at the moment I just don't like how thick it is. And since I can access this side of it, Ruth, what's new with you? What's going on? How's life? Tell me everything. We're just going to fuse in the gallery from the opposing side a little bit better. since I actually have access to it. Okay, so now I'm going to put a fake bottom into this now that that's all light. And fake bottoms are really easy to put in. I mean, it's not, what's going to happen is that we're probably not going to put holes in this particular one, but you're not going to even know that I put a fake bottom on this, most likely. Boop. Look at that. Look at that fake bottom. Doesn't it look perfect? That's awesome. Oh yeah, always is, isn't it? Where's the art show? How do I do this? Gotcha, fun. That's awesome. I hope it goes well. Boom, done, fake bottom. Easy. Okay. Tell me that doesn't look horrible. Inside's a different story, but you know what? Again, maquette, don't care. So let's just double check on this size-wise. Now that I added that bottom, it's gonna probably have elongated it. Cool. Oh man, no. What's the issue? Oh, that's the issue. Oh, fascinating. Okay, so this is too wide. We're just gonna let this set up naturally for half a second. Let's try to bring this one down so it actually fits. If it doesn't fit, we might have to cut the bottom out of this one as well and then put a false bottom in. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like there's a 90% chance that that's what's going to happen. Actually, you know what? I wonder what happens if I just bevel this edge and kind of round it off a little bit. I wonder what happens because I think the main issue is that it's rounding where I put in the bottom because that's how I throw the bombs of my pots. And so if I just round this off, would this fit? Made it a little bit narrower. Got rid of the flat aspect of it. Okay, let's try that just out of curiosity. So that's our new base instead of a flat base. Oh, we're learning. We're learning things here. Interesting. Fascinating. Okay. Now we're cooking. So all it needs is not a flatter, shorter base, but a little bit of a rounder base. So we're going to do that again. It's not quite there. So I'm just going to take this edge, bring it down. And this one, we were very close on that last one, so this should work. Should is the main word there, meaning it's probably not going to, but in theory it should work. If it was that close. Oops, I just gouged it with my fingernail. Beautiful. All right, let's try this one. Little by little. What's up? How are you? How would you pronounce your name? Can you like write it out for me how the best way to pronounce? There we go. Check it out. We figured it out. Okay. We're learning. Fantastic. Okay. So if I had known that from the beginning with the other one, I could have just hit it on a round and then not had to worry about it. So great to know. Now we know for the future. So we have to inflect this one that we just put the false bottom on, but it should be dry enough after that couple seconds. Thanks, Lynn. So I should be able just to carve into this on an angle, slight angle, even though there's no real bottom there. Ah, no one saw that. Didn't happen. Ah, still not happening. No one's seeing any of this. See, it's been centered this entire time. No one can say anything. I don't think this one's going to fit quite yet, but I just want to, we're going to test it first. But I think I need to, actually, if I soften that edge with a sponge and not trim it because it's soft clay still, because we just put it in, that might be fine. Okay, let's take a gander. How do we fit? No. Still not right. But it is the reasoning that we have. We know how to fix this now. The problem is that since this isn't a real base, I don't know how much this clay can take. So we'll do our best here. And if this one doesn't work out, then we'll just make one of these. Again, proof of concept. That's all we were doing today. We were not necessarily setting out to like make the most beautiful thing in the world. It was just a brand new teapot design that we came up with. So it's going to annoy me that that's off center, but that's okay. Whatever. Okay. Cool. The fit's a little weird, but I'm going to live with it for this because I don't want to keep messing with it. Cool. Okay, next thing we need to do is 2 spouts and 2 lids. Let's do the lids first. No, this is no good. A small lid so we don't have to use too much clay here. Yeah, I'm really cutting it close as far as clay goes. Okay, now spouts. They do not have to be very big spouts, so I think we'll be fine as far as clay goes. Welcome back, Dima. How are you? June 18th is the next firing. I will not have a ton of stuff in it because it's again it's part of the Woodfire conference, and I'm a host kiln, so I have a bunch of people coming to fire with me in June. So I'm giving myself three shelves worth of space, but then the rest of the kiln has been essentially purchased by other people. But all these will be in that firing, so yeah, it'll be nice. It's I have a couple conflicting things, which is annoying, but I'll make it work. Can't believe it's already May. It's pretty insane to me. I mean, theoretically they will be, but will they actually be? I don't know. I was helping a friend of mine who was on it a couple of years ago, and her kiln was on it, and people were there, but it seems like people are there, but maybe not the most active. I don't know. I sure do, Lynn. I sell everything. All of this will be for sale. I don't know if these will be for sale because they might not work, but there's a link to my website in my bio, I believe, on YouTube. And if not, you can just Google my name. And I ship internationally. It's expensive though. And you have to just kind of message me about rates at that point. Okay, so the remaining clay here will be used to trim the lids. Cool, appreciate it. I'm not planning on hurting myself before this firing. I've already cut all the wood. It's all stacked. Everything's ready to go. I'm not going to go on any long runs. I think we'll be good this time. That being said, I'm going to go up on Tuesday to get new clay, and the last time I went to do that, I hurt my back, so I'm going to be really careful about it. Wear a back brace, take my time. So this time of year is good for kokanee fishing, which is a landlocked sockeye salmon that you can catch around here. And so I think what I'm going to do this year is I'm really testing the load capacity of my car, but I'm going to bring my smaller kayak. I think if I brought my pedal kayak, it would be too much, and it would um, the my car would not work. But so I'm going to bring my smaller kayak, and Olive and I are going to pick up the clay and then try to catch a couple salmon for her for dinner. I got to figure out the regulations and where I can actually launch. I've never actually tried to catch a kokanee before. I keep meaning to, but it's kind of like it's a schlep for me. It's not close at all, but it's really close to where I'm picking up my clay. So I'm gonna just kind of do both at the same time. Yeah, I have. It's kind of annoying. It's shocking that I keep doing it because there's like 20 people who are constantly mad at me for doing that, Dima. Um, so I gotta figure out a good like back workout. I don't really like weights, but if anybody has any recommendations, I'm happy to do weights if I have to. Okay, where are we at? Okay, perfect. What time is it? Okay, cool. Oh, I'm always game to listen. There can be something that's involved with like that I can somehow mesh into my handstand routine for my workout. That'd be sweet. Would that be good for my back? I don't think it's all good, Dima. I don't know if BMX would be helpful on my back. Awesome. Thank you. Sounds good. Brendan, I know. I took down my slackline like a month ago because I wasn't using it enough, but I think I'm going to put it up again somewhere close by so I can actually get in on it. That was really helping my hips. Also, I haven't started your flower yet. I wanted to figure out this style of teapot that I was kind of coming up with. Also, did the flowers arrive? Oh, hold on, it's starting to rain and I have a crash pad outside. A little bee. Slacklining is this big. Actually, I'll have Brendan. Well, I'll explain. It's a big slack line essentially and you can put it from tree to tree or whatever, and then you kind of just balance on it as you walk through. It's really sweet. I love doing it. Um, okay, there's our first lid. Yeah. Okay. Now we gotta do our second lid. Oh yeah? What's the weather like in the UK right now? Someone was convincing me to go to Scotland tomorrow for my weekly or yearly out of the country visit. I think I'm going to stay in the States this year, but I think next year I'll go to Scotland. The tickets were like $450 that I looked yesterday. It was insane. I was like, why haven't I gone to Scotland yet at that price? Ooh, nice. Well, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm glad that you're into it. I'm glad it's a nice change of pace. I actually really dislike hot weather, but that's just me. Oh, also, Brendan, I'm not sure if I, how I'm doing the Dragon Fist right now. It's interesting. Um, what do you think of it? I'm kind of curious. Oh, really? That's weird. I don't know what that's about. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of the worst, eh? Oh, I'm reading off of also. You might be. I'm talking to two different places. I'm on Instagram here and also YouTube. So that's why if you guys hear me responding to some people that you don't see, it's because they're on YouTube and I'm responding to them there, or vice versa. Hmm. Yeah, I forgot that I'm on two different platforms. I forgot to tell you guys I'm on two different platforms. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm experiencing too. It's interesting. It's nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have two phones going at the moment. You guys over on Instagram are on my old phone, and YouTube's on the new one. Right, Lynn? I feel the same way. That's where it's at. I kind of rotate on my old phone or I'm going to, between TikTok and Instagram. The problem is I keep forgetting to bring both phones down. And so it's been kind of mostly just YouTube. And that also being said, these videos get posted on YouTube at the end versus I just delete them on Instagram. They just disappear forever. That's true, Dima. It seems like it, or you are especially. It feels extra cold there. It can't still be wintry there, is it? Welcome, welcome, Brendan. The different view, you know, but a little further away. We got the close up on Instagram and the far away on YouTube. Yeah, well, my camera is significantly better on my new phone. So awesome. Glad to hear, Dima. All right, Brendan. Okay. You ready for this? Fairness pitcher with an inset specific infuser. So you with its own lid. So you can either have it as a teapot, a hohen, or you can use it as a fairness pitcher depending on your situation. It's a 2-for-1 kind of deal. Or if you were really lazy, you could also just use the infuser for some grandpa style tea, you know? Yeah, it's also better because my audio is connected to my headphones for uh, YouTube, where it's just doing its own thing on Instagram. Did you get the flowers? Did I see? I didn't see if you saw that one. I'm just dying to know if they survived the way I packaged them. Okay, let's see if this fits. Cool. So the last thing we need to do is I'm going to put just quickly both of the teapot forms. Thanks, Lynn. Back on, or these parts back on. Just center them, and then I'm going to just draw a line because we had to retrim them a bunch of times, and that'll be my guiding line for the holes. I think there is a line down here already. Awesome. And I don't really know what we're going to do about this one on the base, so we might just leave it because this is the gunked up, messed up base. But we'll see what happens. So I think I'm like, unless I can find some clay in a different part of my space, we're out of like clay that I can actually throw. That's nice. That chuck might be throwable, but I'm going to be going to Sheffield on Tuesday, and I'll be picking up a bunch of clay there. So I'm going to get 700 pounds of clay or something like that. So that'll last us for a couple days. Okay, so the cool thing about this one is that it doesn't matter, the hole doesn't matter. So essentially, we're going to not put in a filter system into this. We're going to go straight hole, which I never get to do. And so we're going to just make a big old hole here. And then we'll bend this down a little bit more, but that's the idea, spout-wise. So I need this guy. Okay, so I'll just cut a hole that sort of matches that. I'll make it as clean as I can. Boom, hole. Now I'm gonna just pinch it around, clean it up a little bit. $12.30. Okay. This is taking longer than I expected, but again, it's a brand new idea, so I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. And when I started today, I didn't originally plan on making two of them, so this was just going to be a one and done situation. And for some reason, I decided to be slightly masochistic and do two. But that tracks for me whenever we're in here. Later, Ruth. Thanks for hanging out. They'll be posted in a couple months, the end results, but we'll be making more in here together. Don't you worry. Good luck on the show. Actually, I'm going to bring you guys up a little bit. I am too, honestly. I'm sure it will at some point. I want to get back into my fishy style. It's only a matter of time. The reason that I bought 100 pounds of stoneware, and the whole reason was to get back into my fish resists that I did with painter's tape that I used to do like many, many moons ago, you know? So, and the main one was actually for the fish. So I could really start making pretty fish again. It just doesn't look good on porcelain. The rawness of it is just, I don't know, just doesn't do it for me. I like the contrasting. The brown is so much more beautiful to me than when it goes raw than the porcelain white for that particular technique. I have a buddy who's been making these really sweet fish cups recently. At some point, I would like to get one, but honestly, I have enough pottery at the moment. It's really hard to justify buying more. Awesome. Did they survive nicely in the look? The Ponderosa lemon one, I'm curious what you're going to think of. I only could get a few of those. We didn't have many blossoms this year. Okay. Good. Glad to hear it. Okay. So there's our cute little hoe hen base. Let's do that to the other one. What am I doing? some reason I'm liking how fat these are being attached. So I think I'm just gonna leave them. I'm also getting slightly hungry and impatient, so and we're almost done, kind of. Kind of. Thanks, Lynn. Oh yeah, appreciate it. We're getting there. We're making progress, slowly but steadily. I will get some food before I go and teach. Otherwise, I won't be able to teach properly. It's a lot of just making sure everybody's happy, and it's hard to do that if you haven't eaten. There's this one connection point right here on the edge that, because of the undulation, it's a hybrid teapot slash fairness pitcher, so it can be whatever you want it to be, kind of situation. It's the first time I've tried this. I kind of accidentally made it a couple months ago or years ago, and I just put some stuff together last night that I remind me that I need to try this. So you'll see what I mean in a sec. Okay, we're not gonna keep messing with it for right now. I'll deal with it later. So there we are. Okay, next step, we're gonna poke a hole in the lids, and then we're gonna clean them up and then put these to the side. Okay, put that to the side. Let's do that to the other lid. So we're going to do a flower pattern for one of the strainers and holes everywhere for the other strainer. This, again, because these are kind of more of a proof of concept than anything, so I'm just going to see which one looks nicer, and then we can kind of go from there. So let's do the holes everywhere one first, because that one's going to drive me insane. So I'd rather do that one first. And yes, exactly. I forgot that I changed my profile to that pink teapot. So we're going to do the holes everywhere first on this guy. And I'm going to do a bigger hole shape, even though I'm probably going to regret this. Unless, so it's probably, you're going to probably only want to drink oolong out of this one, but just for the sake of my brain power, and again, just as a concept, I'm going to just do this one for this. And then we, in the future, can make smaller holes. But again, this is just an idea that I wanted to see how feasible it was. Yeah, good. I'm glad. I had my first loquat yesterday, which was pretty cool. Those flowers have been long gone for, yeah, no new flowers in there. But the loquats, I forgot how good they are because I don't get many. I get probably like 5 a year, honestly. Mostly because I just forget to get them and they just kind of rot out so quickly. I wonder what the loquat flowers would be like. Mm. Are you having them on your own or are you having them mixed with something? Oh, really? How were they? I've never attempted anything with loquat flowers. That they aren't very potent in my greenhouse, but it could be just because they're overshadowed by like the crazy aroma of the Valencia. Because that is it's a, as you can probably tell, it's a pretty strong scent. So thanks, Leia. Honestly, this isn't quite dry enough to do what I'm doing. But again, I don't have the patience. It's 1 o'clock. If I want to bike, I have to bike pretty soon to work. I haven't quite sold myself on biking because I'm almost guaranteed to have to bike the 7 miles home on dirt roads in the rain. And so I'm not entirely sure I want to do that, but it's all uphill. It's 1,000-foot elevation for 7 miles, which is fine. Yeah, that kind of honestly that checks out to me just from knowing loquats. Yep, Leia, I sell all of this. This is all for sale. There should be a link in my bio on YouTube there. And instead of doing 2, we're just going to do 1 here. Mm, yeah, they're cool. I'm a big fan. The oranges right now are so good too. Oh my God, they're finally sweet. They've been on the tree since December, but they were very tart, and now they are just like the perfect time to eat. Grapefruit's really good right now too. It's a short window between perfect and then rotten, and so I should be eating them more. Um, no idea. I'm surprised to hear that. Maybe just the oranges are more valuable, or I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're taking. Like the full flower that I gave you, that essentially is just an orange. Each one of those is a potential orange, right? Because the fruit sets inside. So that's probably why. Hmm, that's actually a really good idea. It'd be fun to set one up too. The back's been pretty good though. I because I do a lot of stretching. It's just I just need something that I enjoy doing that can help with strengthening. That's the big one. Okay, so let's set this to a side for now. And then this one's going to get our flower pattern. Thanks, Lynn. That does sound really nice. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, I'm liking both too. It's kind of cute in this context. The nice thing about these not being double walled, but I'm putting holes in them, is that I can actually clean the inside holes for once, whereas I can't do that on like a double walled piece. I understand these are very different than a double walled piece, but okay. So I'm going to clean these up off camera, but I'm just going to show them what they look like together, or put together. And I'm cleaning them off camera because I'm going to have to let these dry before I can insert them again in case things stick, and so I just don't want to. I just want to look at them. So tea basket number 1 slides in like that. It has its own little lid. So there's number 1, kind of cute. And so that, again, has that removable bit so you can have whichever other part you want. And then the other one, right? Isn't that fun? They're really, really kind of silly, but I think there's some cool potential here for like sweet pieces. So anyway, this was the idea that I came up with months ago, and I finally, I keep forgetting about it every time I come to the studio, and I made tea like this last night out of one that wasn't meant to go together, and I was like, I have to do it because it's so lovely to use. And it'd be great to do these double walled, so they're going to get kind of heavy if I do that, but it'd be still kind of fun. So thanks. Thanks. Here, let me put them side by side, and then I'm going to go, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to go eat something. and contemplate my life choices. Thanks, Hugh. All right, there's one, and then here's the other. I'll take these guys out again. Boop. These can't really sit on their own, but cool. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break. I probably will not stream again today, but I'll see you guys later. Cheers. Thanks for watching. All right. Of course, Lynn. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. Later, Brendan. Later, everyone.